Welcome back, guys. We're only halfway through with our evening of HGC here in Korea. My name is Wolf. My partner is G Clef, and as he stated, and as I said, we are here in Korea.
Yes.
And we have
South, of course.
Yes. The bottom part.
Yes.
The lower part, not the top part, not over the parallel. It's a very different place over there than it is here, despite being in close proximity. But anyways. We're going to find out who's north or south of the victory line here in this next series, because Miracle has changed up their roster. They would have definitely been considered the massive underdogs winning the series. But with Crazy moving on tank right now, I feel like kind of have to give them the edge here.
I think they are actually a changed team. Back then it was an old MVP Miracle. Now it's a brand new team actually filling in the double tank, double support, and both MVP teams really favoring that, having Rhaegar, Uther lots of the time, picking Greymane from the very beginning, just like what we saw from in the first series, and picking Johanna when they need the wave clear. I think that's going to continue. Mighty did their study. Do they have answers against that? If they do, I think they will have a favor in this series today. But if they don't, I think Miracle can take this.
I think they will. So when you look at the rosters of these two teams, remember that the Na-Song kind of flex that we were seeing before and the Joker support, these are not necessarily going to be the case today for Mighty, as they've kind of announced their role swaps back, putting Joker actually on Assassin now. Na-Song is going to be on support. But Crazy moving, you'll notice for the first time in his career, his 3-year-long Heroes of the Storm career, you will not see a sword above C moving here in Korea. You will see the shield, because he will be playing main warrior now. Played the Johanna, was the first person to play Johanna this split in Korea. We'll play Johanna, we'll play ETC, played the Tyrael very well, and he is completely role swapped. As you can see, last 3 games, ETC, Tyrael, and Johanna. So watch out for this guy. He's brought this team back to form, and I think that with Crazy moving now playing tank, you have to give him, give Miracle the edge here. You have to call them favorites. Miracle has looked a lot better with him on tank, and Mighty has been having a shaky season. So many are saying Crazy moving could be the reason why Miracle climbs back up through the rankings and could find themselves going through the playoff gauntlet very, very quickly if they continue to play as well as they did in their previous series.
Mighty still the 4th place, and Miracle still 6th, below Blossom actually. So there's not too many games left actually. We're halfway through, so Miracle basically need to win, I think, all of it to climb that all the way up to Mighty. And here comes the music died, guys. Got silenced.
Down player died, man. Okay, it's alive now.
It's back, and here's Mighty. 4th place, of course, right below Tempest. Some gap there between, of course, especially after Tempest winning the series.
Yes, it's definitely a large gap.
They've been changing the roles, and they're not really sticking with the original one where Joker was playing lots of the tank, having Magi sometimes on the support. Because of this new meta with double support, I think they really need a dedicated second support. I think that's been hurting them the most. The double tank is not really the biggest problem for them, but the double support is really coming in, sometimes missing Ancestrals, late Ancestrals, late Crystal Ages, has been hurting all the team fights.
Yeah, BDG has switched to top laner. Remember, BDG has always been, since he has also been a player since, I don't agree with this key player choice, but BDG has always been a DPS player. He's been a DPS main. He's the Vala player. He was the Jaina player back in 2015. Moved into playing heroes like Li Ming. Li Ming was more meta Tychus. And now he's a top laner. And it has given them, I think, mixed success. The reason why I wouldn't list Joker as the key player is because he used to be on main tank, but now that he's switched off, and I feel like the team has totally fallen apart. They relied on his strong tank plays. He was a great tank player on ETC, on Rave, in the old times of 2015 and the Super League era. But now, when he switches into the Flex DPS, so when he's switching into Flex support, he just doesn't really make the same kind of impact. And there isn't really a carry DPS player on this team. Magi is now the new one, but he was always supposed to be flex. He was always supposed to be secondary healer. So it just feels like the team it lacks the identity. The Mighty that exists for a year and a half is not the same Mighty we're looking at right now.
That's exactly right. And depending on how ready they are with this new role, new roster, new roles on each members. Let's see if they can go against all the globals and the new tank changes coming out from Crazy Moving from MVP Miracle. First map will be Sky Temple, and as you always know, both StarCraft mans are banned. Ooh, production going super fast.
Yep, that was a long first series, so going to kind of keep this flowing so people are still interested. People don't want to be watching Heroes of the Talk all night long. Resonant Sleeper, we got to have some high-level action. We're going to the draft now. Sky Temple, as mentioned, is the map. First ban will be Mighties.
Let's see if they want to open up Ariel this time. I think Ariel was basically always banned in yesterday's games. It was actually a little weird to see L5 leaving that open so many times, giving so much room for Tempest to pick up the top support from the beginning.
Ariel was not banned in one game, and that was first picked by Black, who also won with her.
In EU, Ariel has about 50-ish winning rate on this patch. I'm only talking about on this patch, on this Garrosh balance patch. But in Korea, still over 60%. And mostly banned, by the way. So that's how strong the hero is right now. Still, before she was super OP, but with the nerf, she is still pretty strong, I would say.
The thing is, like, how Ariel functions was so broken by the fact that her cooldown could be reduced. But now that people just playing safer with the cooldown, as we saw from Hyde in the last series, you just end up having this incredible healing output regardless. So it does end up being that way. So I want to look, actually. I want to see Ariel's exact win rate right now. I'm on the wrong paper, but I'll find it for you guys eventually as we look into the ETC first pick. This is what L5's drafting strategy was in the previous series after the Ariel bans, was to take the ETC Uther Graven. This is very familiar.
Of course, very, very, very familiar.
Wow.
Tassadar
plus Vala, it's like literally the same draft we watched earlier.
Lunara this time. Actually, Mighty playing Lunara instead. With more ranged, with ETC, can have some more pair-ups. Ariel win rate in this patch for Korea, 70%. 7-3, banned 17 times in just, I guess, 4 days until before today's matches. So.
And before this patch, in part 2, she is on this in this tournament 72% win rate with 11 games played. Number 5 right now in hero rankings, and number 1 in terms of picks of the top win rates. So still very relevant, you would say.
Dropped down a little bit, but of course, that's why it's banned all the time. And of course, Rhaegar, okay, they're going into support choke. They have Uther and Lucio. Miracle wants to take out all the support. What's the last support pick going to be for Mighty? Mighty also adapting Sonya.
Okay, Mighty seems like they're with the times right now. Very much flexing into what they've not really shown us before, but what the rest of the Korean teams are finding success with. That skin for Sonya, though, is definitely not meta. She will need to change in order to properly identify where we're at. I'm sure he'll do the right thing. So we have our solo lane decided. Will be the Sonya against the Dahaka. Sonya lacking the ability to rotate, though, that Dahaka has, so the solo lane will have to be dominated by Mighty in order to make that work. It will be BGG in the top lane. Karazim will be their secondary support here, or second support they locked in, their main support, their healer. So
just by looking at the right side, So much damage incoming. Burst damage is there for Sonya. Sustained damage, the range poison is there coming out from Lunara. Karazim can also dash and pick up kills. So lots of kill potential from the other side. Can Miracle do it with just Greymane?
Well, they need a tank, so they're going to have to. At least they're going to have to try. Who's going to be the hero for Crazy Moving this time around is the big question. Is it time to see his first game of Muradin? Maybe that's what it should be here. Johanna is still decent, but not that great against Lunara. I don't think that Anub'arak is going to fit this draft, even though Cocoon is quite strong. Will it be the Muradin? Yep. So we're going to see Crazy Moving's first game of Muradin career right now as we head into Tomb of the Sky Temple. I don't know why I said Tomb. But anyways, Muradin's got that Muradin escape bush at the bottom shrine. We'll see some action with him there. It's not that funny, G-Clef. I know I misspoke. It's all right. We're getting through it. Okay.
It sounded so natural that it almost made sense.
Okay, let's find out if Crazy Moving can impress again, this time on the Muradin, his 4th tank hero career now, as we head into Sky Temple. Not Tomb of the Spider Queen, not Tomb of the Sky Temple for game number 1. In blue, Judy on Dahaka, Dami on Greymane, Jaehyun on Lucio, Crazy Moving on Muradin, and Sniper on Uther.
Mighty Joker on Lunara, BDG on Sonya, Good on ETC, Nasang on Karazim, and Magi on Tastar.
Okay. Did you know that this map is actually situated directly above Tomb of the Spider Queen?
Yes.
That's where that goes. If you go down that temple right there, the boss is. The boss comes out.
You see the well in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's where Harrison Jones comes out with the spider.
Exactly.
All right.
Only heroes of real fans know that.
Yeah.
Of course, as a caster commentator, you have to know that also.
We know the heroes of Storm lore, man. Still nobody knows where the Raven Lord is from. Last I heard, rumor was he's from Chicago, but it's not confirmed. So now we're just going to see his early level 1 trades. Greymane going into the Wolfheart build, at least for the time being here. So Dami doing the Dami build. And we will see...
Core race?
Well, probably not.
Probably not, but...
We will see the rotation down soon.
Let's see.
It's like Lucio versus... ETC is actually the solo lane in this game. Like
I think Judy will be having a harder time because when Tastar can actually be ranged, just use the storm to not get damage at all, but and take the wave clear out. But Judy has to go in and take down the wave clear. That's the thing. So Judy is very low. It seems like Dami actually pushed that quicker because he's Greymane.
Ooh, Joker eats some serious damage there, but we'll be okay. So, going to be traded shrines for now. Traded temples, I should say. There's a lot of different types of objectives in this game. This one is a temple. Shrine is on Infernal Shrines, as its name suggests. Okay, an invade attempt here from Mighty to actually try to claim this. Jaehyun is coming down, but a bit late. There's the burst heals coming in. Sniper will heal himself. You know what's really interesting I have noticed recently? I mean, MVP Miracle is still trying to figure out their identity completely with this. But what I've noticed is that Sniper has actually been playing the main healer, quote-unquote, in a lot of these, and it's actually been Jaehyun who plays the side one, in this case the Lucio. Fails to get the save here. Might actually die for it, in fact, while trying to. That's not going to be good. He's going to bleed out. Actually, he had himself on speed boost instead of heals there at the last second, so that certainly wasn't helpful. This is a bit of a bloodbath here, but Mighty will take the win in this trade.
Maybe just losing Dehaka and just not even trying to save him could have been the better choice. After losing so much health and also Lucio, it's going to take a long time for them to cover. to soak up EXP. They were going to lose the top shrine anyways because Sonya was just dominant in the top shrine. Which is why I think Sonya is coming back, especially on the shrine controlling maps, Inferno Shrines, Temple. Control of the lane is so strong, also teamfight ability. Kind of like Greymane, just not when they, especially when they lose Greymane on the other side, they were trying to find an answer. What's something else if we lose Greymane, something else that can be sort of like Greymane but better? I guess the answer is Sonya for now.
For now, yeah. She's very strong in the solo lane too. So Mighty is now going to take a slight talent tier lead, 7 for a few seconds here. Will win the giant battle, but they are obviously losing out in the top lane experience. They already got the fort though, so there's not much reason to stick around there. This 5-man, if they use it correctly, will allow them to have the healing fountain down. Tatzer's already rotating up top, by the way, as it turns out they're not going to commit 5-man for this entire push. So it doesn't end up mattering that they don't get the healing fountain because they didn't lose as much experience as they would have. It was awkward when you have to temporarily Tassadar solo lane, because a good solo laner will always destroy Tassadar, even though he has good escapes and good wave clear. Once the dimensional shift is on cooldown, you are in a world of hurt against a good solo laner.
Just for the time being, because Sonya is solo camping right now, and Magi will provide the extra shields.
Just gonna leash, basically. And the follow-up now with both of these camps here, I think for Mighty is that they need to kill the camp of Miracle first before leaving. Otherwise, there's no reason why Judy is going to ever feel pressured. They are using this wave clear they have with Tassadar to start this off right. I think they need to kill this before they go down.
So to buy time, they were controlling the watchtower to have the vision.
Yeah.
And Sonya can take it down pretty quickly, but the thing is, Dehaka is also moving down along with the team, not really taking care of this camp on the top. It will be pushing later on.
Yeah, maybe he used his brush dog already. I don't think so, but definitely going to be really good actually for Mighty that Dehaka is kind of AFK right now. Now that the camp is cleared, BDG is going to stay here because they know Dehaka's not coming down. This could end up hurting them in the long run though, because Judy can simply use brush dog to go in. Mighty now will retake the bottom temple. For some reason, we're going to do the Korean observing thing. This has been a thing in all MOBAs in Korea forever. It's like, watch the top lane when everything else is happening somewhere else. Like, literally, everything is happening somewhere else. Literally, down there at the bottom where everything is happening. It's like, oh, I got the tongue grab, but he can't get the kill because it's a tank battle in the top lane. I've seen this before.
BDG is actually staying here for a long time.
Yeah.
He could have gone down and started the team fight already because of this push was so big that BDG or Judy had to stay there for a long time anyhow.
Okay, now we're going to see why it matters, though. Mosh Pit does get reached here. They wanted this for 10.
Right,
Double leaps for Joker. Will Crazy Movie survive? No, he will not.
The Dork Toss, if it was complete, I think he could have tapped into the well, but it was like semi-cancelled from the face melt coming up from ETC. That was a kill.
So BDD is destroying Dehaka. This is what we said needed to happen in the top lane because of the lack of global. It works out for them. And Mighty wins the fight down without Sonya because of the 10 that gave them Mosh Pit. And we do see the leap this time for the first time from Lunara today. We'll get the final shots. So Mighty with a great start here in game number 1. And they lost a lot in the top lane there. We don't know exactly what happened leading up to that really cool team fight for Mighty, because I know the Korean competitors were trying to show that incredible push was what was going to give them 10 to win them the team fight. Could have probably just followed that on the EXP bar, though, in my opinion. But anyway, as it stands now, we know the fight was won. We know Mighty dominated it with a really good mosh pit. And their next step is to posture the boss. Well, because Miracle has all their heroics available now, too, I don't think they can actually realistically start it. I'm going to move away already.
At least we got to see the mosh and the leap moment. Perfectly timed from the observing. I think they were just waiting for 10. And Observer also knew before 10 it was less likely to have a big team fight happening. The moment they hit 10, they picked their heroics and just went in with the big mosh. And that's how they got the kill. So they were just waiting for the big moment. Mighty there still waiting for 13. Sonya's just pushing this lane as much as possible and really not staying too far apart in case Sonya is ganked from the other side. And talking about ganks, seems like they are trying to gank right now.
Yep, BDG is in trouble. Nasong's trying to save him, but I don't think this is going to work.
Available.
He needs to use it. There it is.
Ignored.
He barely will get out of this, I think BDG will. Good Ancient Spear actually connects. But at the other side of things, Crazy Moving does get his stun. Look at this. Divine Shield on Dami. Sound Barrier used right afterwards. Dami gets the go for the reset, gets the second kill here. He has human range too, so if he uses Disengage, he can chase down Nasong. I don't think our Happy Monk is getting home tonight. He's with the cows, what we were talking about earlier, man. Not making it back. That's going to be the triple kill. He went human range instead of Wisdom Duelist. This is the second time tonight, and probably the 5th time this season that we're seeing this build. It's very rare, but I think we're seeing it almost exclusively against double warrior of any type. This time Sonya, technically a warrior, right? Double melee frontline. This allows Greymane to poke at distance. Because he went Wolf Heart, he's going to more consistently have attack speed at range. So he's trying to use this to chip down into kill range. Then he has Eyes in the Dark, of course, to help make it more annoying to deal with.
That was a big turnaround from Miracle there. And that was a 5v4, basically. Dehaka joined the team fight later on, did nothing, missed the tongue grab also.
Yeah, sadly.
And Miracle still just do its sound barrier. Notice how the momentum can just swing just like that when they have the sound barrier shield available in all teams. Dami alone doing so much damage. That's... Ooh. Can you block it if the palm does not connect? They will be lacking healing. The shield we saw was just not enough on either targets.
Oh, look at that. Some poison damage coming out here, both from the Spear and from Lunara. Good Stormbolt, some Crazy Moving. Every single Stormbolt has been good. He's going for the Q at level 1. Perfect Storm, and he's been about perfect. Mighty will get the final shots here, though. Dehaka split push is the reason why, so they end up trading a fort for a fort, essentially. We are dead even in structures now. Only keeps remain. This has been one of the closer Sky Temple games we've seen in a while.
Seems like Mighty wants to invade here. Does Judy have Brush Talker? It's about time to come.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. He's going to use it, looks like. No, thought about it.
He's coming now.
Okay, here he comes.
Here comes this contest for camp. Sonya dives in. Dami takes a lot of damage, but he is not scared here.
Oh, the sound barrier again.
5-man mosh! This is a big trouble for Miracle. All the damage comes out. His Divine Shield barely gets out.
A 5-man mosh, just sit back and enjoy it, man. That is going to be a one-team fight for Mighty. 5 members in one zone there. That's a mosh for you. Good. Isn't even the best way to describe Good's mosh there. And that is it. Cyan Fusion is done.
When was the last time we saw 5-man mosh from Korea? It's been a while.
Probably since 2015. I think it's probably been that long. I don't think we saw a single one in 2016. 5-man? No way. Well, that's going to be a boss. That's going to be keep demolished. The wall, at least, will be very heavily pressured as Dami is going to try to sneak this cap. That's going to be one small consolation prize here for MVP Miracle. Sound barrier was so well timed. It was actually really impressive. But there's nothing you can do when a 5-man mosh goes off. So interrupt. Just literally sit back and watch, like we were saying earlier. So Miracle, even though they had a few great moments in that fight, they just got blown away by that entire team being CC'd for about 5 seconds.
That mosh pit will be in the highlight clip of week 8, guys.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be.
Watch it next week. Every single break.
Everyone will be like, when they watch it, remember I want you to say when you watch it, I was there live when that happened. Say that in Twitch chat when it happens in the highlight clip. Brag about it. You guys were all here. You were there to witness it. You weren't just the hipsters that he knew about the 5-man mosh, but really just watched it on the Reddit clip the next morning. No, you guys were there. You guys were the guys in the chat in the clip.
The real heroes.
The real heroes.
That's right. But because of all the late camps, because of the boss pressure, Miracle hits late 16, also basically loses the entire tempo. Are they going to give up on the last shots?
They might have to. They do have sound barrier. Gonna be tough. Mosh Pit is available again. Sonya's rotating up. This is an opportunity. Cleanse has been used as well.
They're onto the chase. They also have Lucio for the chase. Dehakan can join in. A little too late now.
Well, Stormbolt max range was what he was looking for. Not going to get it. And now there's just going to be this period of time where we're going to sit back and wait for the next objective. Almost the entire map is actually taken right now. So no way to... there's just simply no objective to take. MVP Miracle is going to try to use this rotation down to shove this lane into the keep. To try to counter it. That's their plan here. Sniper does get caught here. Has to Divine Shield himself.
Self-Divine Shield, and Sonya comes at the perfect timing. It's one less protective tool for Miracle.
We're just seeing these cleanses come out over and over again for Nasong. He's got so many of them available. Oh, that's the target they wanted, though.
He's got cleanse, but and leaps out. That's great play coming out from Joker, and Good is looking for that angle again. That Mosh will be the pressure.
Okay, Joker doesn't get the kills he wanted. He did so much counter damage once he survived that. He was in good position to do so. After he lived, he was like, yeah, and now everyone's in range. So that leap actually being a great pick for him here. We didn't see it last series. More greedy play coming out of Tempest. Mighty's going to take the safe route, and it saves them here.
Ooh, does spot the camp. Can they... Okay, decides not to overextend a little bit. Since they are leading, there is no reason to actually risk so much. Also double tempo so they can further their lead a little more. Yaga has to take care of the camp on the bottom. So they may actually join the team fight at the perfect time when the temple spawns.
Okay. 5 seconds for the temple. That landing stun for Crazy Moving is going to be a big factor in these. If they can actually land on top of Lunara and then start a fight that way, it would be great. But they're getting kited so hard right now. Mighty is struggling, and they even have a Lucio, but still just can't keep up. Having now to use the amp it up for heals, not speed boost for the chase. Cocktail totally bouncing off this army, not even really doing anything. Dami is trying to do what he can with his human range here. Crazy Moving is super far deep. Top Shrine is not even contested. They want to get both. They want to win this fight, but they're already losing it in terms of health pools here. Lunara untouched in this fight. Divine Shield used for Greymane, but it's not going to be enough. Now he's going to be the first to die. Soundbearer just a second too late.
And here comes another Mosh. It's insta-cancelled, but doesn't even matter. They won the team fight anyhow, and already Crazy Moving took a lot of the aggro, but Dami versus Sonya, that 1v1 was no way to contest, and Crazy Moving will die here. Sonya did so much more damage than Dami was planning on. He was doing damage all the time, but Sonya was getting healed and shielded so much back that Dami basically did no damage at all in that team fight.
Well, Lunara has really performed tonight, G-Clef. That is the babysitting we saw, basically the camping, the pocket heals, the pocket tanks to make sure that Joker didn't get caught by any of the DPSs. Everybody got burned down. They got kited so hard. And now Mighty will take the first game in the series. Another Lunara game. Didn't think I'd ever live to see the day I'd commentate Joker carrying his team on Lunara, not protecting the Lunara in the back. But we just watched that happen. And now Mighty takes the lead. MVP Miracle looks a bit stressed. This is the first tank loss for Crazy Moving. Took the 3-0 series on tank against Blossom. Momentum was on their side. Now it's taken away from him. He's an emotional player. This could be a struggle for him. It could be an uphill battle.
Yep, I think the solo Greymane did not work so perfectly, especially when there was a Sonya on the other side. And when Sonya was basically the tank, also the Bruiser, doing such a lot of the damage with the spear. And meanwhile, when Mighty has another tool of Lunara doing ranged attacks, poison damage, seems like he's doing a lot of damage. And on the other side, there's no ranged whatsoever. They're relying on Greymane. If Greymane's not taking kills, they are not getting kills.
Yeah. Greymane's just getting outpoked by Lunara, even with human range at level 7. Still just kind of struggling to get that massive damage done. Always protected was Lunara by the front line, by the heals coming out. Felt like she had pocket protectors. Babysitters, I mean, guardians. Pretty much she was safe.
Yeah. And whenever she was somewhat TC, the cleansing touch came in from Karazim. Also leaped out. There was pretty good reaction time coming out from Joker. So far, so good on the DPS. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah. I think it's early to tell at this point, but like that was a good game, and I think his teammates really allowed him to do that. So map pick will likely go to Mighty now, and we don't know where they're taking us yet. Say avoiding Cursed Hollow is probably the play. Maybe heading towards another smaller map like Sky Temple, or sorry, not Sky Temple. God. I'm like Tomb of the Sky Temple, Tomb of the Spider Queen might be a good pick. Infernal Shrines as well as BDG on the Sonya right now is another good option for them. We flew through that first game, the first draft, and everything, and now I'm just like, and I'm trying to segue into the map screen. I'm trying